Hello and welcome to the Crown Jewel Perth review. If you didn't if you didn't watch Crown Jewel, I would suggest going and watching it. It was a fun card. Only 5 matches, but a lot of fun things happened in these matches, and we're going to go pretty in depth into these matches. Some more than others, but we're going to go more in depth with these matches than we do on Raw and SmackDown. But let's get started because there's a lot to talk about. Starting with Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed in the Australian street fight. Now, the only thing that made this an Australian street fight is the fact that Roman Reigns had a cricket bat and he threw a few rugby balls at Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed. Other than this, it was just a normal street fight with like chairs and kendo sticks, and there is a table spot in this match, which we'll talk about. But Roman Reigns is just dominating Bronson Reed throughout pretty much this entire match. Um, until Roman Reigns goes for a spear on the outside, and he's met by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker spears Roman Reigns, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker take Roman Reigns to the announce table. They're going to put him through it, and of course, the Usos come out. The Usos are here. They super kick Braun Breaker. They beat down Bronson Reed a little bit. By the time that the Usos are starting to get overmanned by Bronson and Braun, Roman Reigns is back on his feet, hits a few Superman punches. Everything's going good. Usos are fighting Braun Breaker on the outside. Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns are going at it in the ring. Bronson's going to put Reigns through a table. Reigns jumps off his back because he was going for a Death Valley driver. Jay runs, trying to spear Bronson Reed, but he hits Roman Reigns and spears him through the table. And then Bronson and Braun, they take out Jey Uso, and then tsunami on Roman Reigns. 1, 2, 3. Bronson Reed beats Roman Reigns, the third man to pin him since very long time. Bronson Reed gets a huge win in his home country. This shows a lot of faith in Bronson Reed having him beat Roman Reigns. I know that it wasn't clean, but it's a street fight, so it's not going to be clean. But huge win for Bronson Reed. But after the match, Roman Reigns is obviously mad at the Usos. Roman is like, I didn't want you guys in this match. I was going to do it myself. And he's mad. And he's like, I don't want to see you guys till Christmas. And then he gets out of the ring. The Christmas line made me laugh when I heard it. He walks up the ramp and he's like, I'm tired of this. Like, I need the power. That's what he says. He's like, I want the power back. So Roman Reigns probably going to tap into that tribal chief one more time. But interesting match. Jey Uso gets mad at Jimmy. He's like, I'm out. Like, Roman's always going to be like how he is and all this, even though Jay's literally turning into Roman. So it's a little weird. But let's go to the next match, which is Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie Vaquer for the Crown Jewel Women's Championship. Now, this match was back and forth. This match was very fun. What a great match. After this match happened, I definitely went, oh, this is going to be match of the night. It was great, but let's get to the finish. Stephanie Vaquer sets up Tiffany Stratton for a Devil's Kiss, hits the Devil's Kiss on Tiffany Stratton, lifts her up, SVB, 1, 2, no. Tiffany Stratton kicks out of the Devil's Kiss and the SVB combo. I don't know if anybody's done that yet, actually. I can't think of anybody. But Tiffany Stratton then goes ahead, goes up for the PME, lifts off, misses. She misses the PME. Stephanie Vaquer crawls up to the top rope, corkscrew moonsault, 1, 2, 3. Stephanie Vaquer is your new women's crown jewel champion. And she got very emotional after the match, said that she believes in herself now because the crowd has been believing in her. It was a great promo for Stephanie Vaquer. I love her emotion in how she speaks. And Stephanie Vaquer, she won. It was a very fun match. I really liked it. I really thought it was going to be match of the night, but it won't be because match of the night by far was John Cena versus AJ Styles. They still had their magic from 2016 through 2018. This match was great, but before the match starts, we get a great moment. Alicia Taylor is doing John Cena's introduction, the Never Seen 17, celebrating with Perth, Australia one final time, the last real champion, all this. And John Cena's, he's hyped, but he has a piece of paper in his hand. He walks over to Alicia Taylor and says, "Hey, read this out." And AJ Styles is like, what's going on?" Alicia Taylor goes, "He is the definition of total nonstop action. He is the leader of the Bullet Club. He is the face that runs the place. He is the phenomenal AJ Styles." Oh, such a great introduction for such a legend like AJ Styles. These two legends, Cena's gonna be done at the end of 2025, and Styles said that he's gonna retire in 2026. So this match was very emotional. Getting a little bit emotional talking about it, but it was such a great match. And John Cena has been doing a bunch of callbacks, and this match was the one with the most callbacks for sure. You have the Lion Tamer with John Cena in the top left, a little Chris Jericho breaking the walls down. Then in the top middle, you have John Cena putting AJ Styles in an accolade. Shout out Rusev. You have AJ Styles hitting a Sweet Chin Music on John Cena. In the bottom right, you have John Cena hitting an RKO. Right before this, he hits a draping DDT, vintage Orton. Then in the bottom middle, you have Cena hitting a skull crushing finale, which is the Miz's move. And then you have the most emotional one with John Cena hitting his sister Abigail, kissing AJ Styles on the forehead, then nailing it. Styles sold it great. There were so many callbacks in this match. I know Cena hit a tombstone in the match. AJ Styles hit a fade to black. Shout out Frankie Kazarian. He hit I almost want to say he had an Angel's Wings for Christopher Daniels. He had a Coquina Clutch for Samoa Joe. These references were just so great. But Cena hits a tombstone, lifts up AJ Styles. AA, 1, 2, 3. John Cena wins one last time overseas and gets his 100th career pay-per-view win. That was pretty cool. That's a cool stat. Another match of the night by far, another 5-star classic, and they celebrate together at the end. They hug a few times, they lift each other's arms up. AJ and John Cena went crazy in this match. This was great. This was an amazing match, better than I expected, and I was expecting very high things. But let's go to the next match. We have Io Sky and Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors. Now, this was a fun match. It was a lot of Asuka and Kairi beating down Io, waiting for that Rhea hot tag, and we eventually get it. The Rhea hot tag is when things really start picking up. Rhea and Io are killing it. At this moment, I knew my prediction was wrong, and Io Sky and Rhea were going to win this match. We have Rhea going for an avalanche riptide, but Kairi pulls down Asuka onto the apron, and then Kairi bites the bullet for Rhea Ripley. And then they bring Kairi in the ring. They hit a riptide and an over the moonsault on Kairi. 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win the match. Now, this match wasn't bad. It was my least favorite match of the night, but it was fun for the Australian crowd getting to see Rhea Ripley, especially on her birthday. So she gets a win on her birthday. 29, Rhea Ripley. It was a fun match. I think Kairi biting the bullet. She kind of fell on her sword of protecting Asuka. Now, this was the only match I got wrong from my predictions, but it was the one I was the least confident in, so I'm not too upset about getting it wrong. But I still think it's the wrong winner. I get it. Rhea and Io win. It's in Australia. I get it. But the Kabuki Warriors needed this to really prove themselves as heels. But maybe they'll get a win again. But let's go to the match where we probably have the most to talk about. Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins for the men's Crown Jewel Championship. Now it starts with it ends up being a great back and forth match, but Seth was super rattled by the crowd. He actually goes over to Michael Cole and pushes him, and the crowd is chanting Seth is a wanker. Fuck you, Seth. They're all chanting this stuff, and Wade and Seth is pointing at Wade. He's like, "It's all your fault. That's what you said on SmackDown, like all this stuff." Seth, they get back. They end up getting back in the ring. Cody's just throwing Seth into the corner. Seth really can't do much. Seth and Cody, but then Seth kind of just like gets into gear. He remembers that he's Seth freaking Rollins. He remembers that he can beat Cody, even though that he hasn't yet. He's going to. He's going to. And then we get into some crazy spots. Seth hits a wicked headbutt from coast to coast. He shakes up his arm a little bit. You can notice that Seth is a little bit more hurt in that arm throughout the match. I hope he's okay, but I will never trust another Seth Rollins injury ever again because of that Saturday night's main event injury, and then he returns at SummerSlam. I saw his knee pop, and then he's just fine. So I'm never trusting another Seth injury, but Seth hits a coast to coast. There's a lot of close calls, stomps, and crossroads. 1, 2, kick out. Their match is crazy, but then Cody goes for it all. From the top rope, hits a crossroads, a super crossroads. I don't even know what you call it. It was from the top rope, and he hits a crossroads. 1, 2, no. Seth Rollins is still alive. Still alive in this match. And Seth earlier in the match, he was looking at that watch. He wanted to use it, but he threw it away. Goes back, but then he gets desperate and he grabs that watch. He grabs that watch, stumbles into Cody, ref bump, nails Cody with the watch. Cody's out. He gets up. Stomp. Seth's not done yet. Super stomp. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins finally beats Cody Rhodes. Seth finally does it. 1-3 or 1-22 if you count house shows, but Seth Rollins, not clean because he uses the watch, but without any help, he gets the win. And then he grabs a microphone and he says that tonight he proved that he is the best of his, not only the best of his era, but the greatest of all time. He proves that he can beat anybody. He proves that he's the top champion. And then nobody interrupts him. That kind of shocked me. Normally when you call yourself the greatest, somebody interrupts you, but nobody does. They end the show with Stephanie Vaquer and Seth Rollins both holding up their Crown Jewel championships, and that is Crown Jewel. Now, Crown Jewel was a great card. I liked it a lot. Cena and AJ was iconic. You'll remember it forever. Cody and Seth was a great match. Cody taking a pin, something he doesn't do very often, and Roman taking a pin that doesn't happen very often. You also have the crowning and the even further push of Stephanie Vaquer, and you have Rhea Ripley winning in her home country. But that is Crown Jewel, and I will see you guys for the Raw review on Monday.